want you to bring it behind your head here. And I want you to lean back in your head and just kind of grab with both sides and just start to sway your head from side to side as we breathe here for a couple minutes. And you might feel some kind of kinks here in the neck or in the shoulders, maybe just a little bit. And we've done this a couple of times during the series, but I just want you to really lean your head back as much as you can. And then take your towel and you're gonna move it to the base of your skull here. So right to where your hairline starts. And I want you to lean back into it. So you're gazing up here, either at where the ceiling and the wall meet, or maybe all the way up towards the ceiling. And I want you to just start to move your arms. And as you move your arms, you'll feel your towel kind of turn your head here and breathe. Nice deep breaths over here. Awesome. 2 more just like this. And then we'll take the towel either to the top of your head and you'll move it up just a little bit more. And we're going to start to drop our chin. And as you do so, just let the weight of the towel kind of hang here. So you're not pulling down, but you're just going to feel this nice big stretch in your cervical flexors, which are on your back but connect to your cervical spine. And then while you're here, I want you to just kind of tuck your chin. And as you do this, you'll feel your head naturally pull a little bit more into the towel. And as you do this, you'll feel it. Kaylee, I think that, can everyone else hear me? Can I get a nod? I'm assuming so. You may have to leave and rejoin. And then let's take the towel back down just a little bit here. So back down to the base of the neck. And then lean your head back again, just moving from side to side again. And really get into some of that tissue here. Yeah, breathe. Awesome. Then we'll take the towel and we'll move it out of the way here. And I want you to take your hands out in front of you. And you'll interlace your hands here. And I want you to just round through your back like you would in a cat pose. So reach your knuckles as far forward as you can and push your sternum back. Maybe you can drop your head while you're here. And then I want you to sit up tall and see if you can draw your shoulder blades back just a little bit here, but keep your ribs engaged. And then reach forward as far as you can. And then draw the shoulder blades back. And we'll do this a couple more times. So we'll reach forward, and then we'll draw it back. 2 more like this. Reach forward, and then draw it back. Last one, reach as far forward as you can, round through that upper back. And then sit all the way up here. And let's roll down onto our back. So grab your towel. We're going to use it today. So I want it pretty close by here as we breathe. Just going to check the participants. All right, cool. And let's lay all the way down here. And I want you to grab your towel, bend your knees, and you're going to bring the towel to shoulder distance here. So you want your wrists still over your shoulders. And then I want you to pull the towel apart like you're going to tear it apart. And then pull your ribs down here for a second. So you automatically feel kind of your spine lengthen on the mat. And as you do so, you'll feel the ribs engage and you'll feel your core engage as you do so. We're going to do that same thing we did here as we were seated. So I want you to lift the towel up as high as you can. Think about pushing your sternum into the mat and then draw your shoulder blades back. And keep tearing that towel apart. Reach with the fingertips, reach with that towel, and then draw back. One more just like this. Reach with that towel, and then draw back and walk your feet in just a smidge more here. And let's come into a low bridge. We're going to do the same thing. So really low bridge here. We're only like 2 to 4 inches up off the ground. And I want you to think about reaching that towel up. So protract through your shoulders, separate them here, and then draw them onto your back. And then we'll reach and draw back. And we'll do this a couple times. Reach and draw back. And you should feel your core, your glutes working here, as well as your shoulders, starting to open up some of that tissue here between the shoulders. Awesome. 2 more. Reach and draw back. Last one. Reach and draw back. Awesome. You can release that towel down off to your side here. And we'll just pull our left wrist back here for a quick stretch and breathe. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. Awesome. Then switch wrists, bring it to your right wrist and pull back. Awesome. Bring your hands to your hips and and then slowly lower your hips all the way back down to the ground, releasing your glutes, releasing your core. Let's just do a little bit of core here today. So bring your hands back behind your head, take a deep breath in, exhale, nod your chin to your chest, lift up off your shoulder blades, and then firm your belly button down. And as you do this, feel your deep abdominal muscles engage, and bring your elbows forward just a little bit more here, and then see if you can pull your head slightly back into your head here, into your hands. You feel this nice big stretch in the back of your neck again. Inhale and lower. Exhale, lift, come up and hold. This time we'll pause and we'll just hover the left leg into a tabletop, and then see if you can curl up just a little bit more as you do this, feeling this lift. Bring your foot back down, inhale and lower. Exhale, lift, come up and hold. Bring that right leg up and then hover here again. Can you curl up just a little bit more towards that right leg, lifting your shoulder blades up off the ground as you pull your head back. Awesome, foot comes down, inhale and lower. Exhale, lift, come up and hold. Left leg's gonna come in again, and we're gonna externally rotate our hip here. Keep the curl, and then internally rotate your hip, bringing your knee in, ankle out. We'll do this one more time. So externally rotate, and then internally rotate. Put your foot back down, inhale and lower. Exhale, lift, come up and hold. Right leg comes in again, so knee comes out, ankle comes in, external. Internal, turn it to the side. External, open. And then internal and close. Put your foot back down, inhale and lower. All right, let's add on just a little bit more here. Exhale, lift, come up and hold. Left leg opens, externally rotate, and then internally rotate. And you can make this a more smooth movement here as we move. You do it a couple more times. See if you can keep the curl here. 2 more. Awesome, you're gonna externally rotate and hold here. Now turn to the right, stay lifted above this right shoulder blade, and breathe, feel your abdomen working. Bring your leg back through center, put your foot down, inhale and lower. Ooh, that was a tough one. Let's do it again on the right side. Exhale, lift, come up and hold. Right leg comes in, and then same thing, external and internal rotation. So it should feel a little bit smoother here in your hip. Awesome, breathing, see if you can curl up just a little bit more. And then we'll externally rotate and hold. Turn to the left this time, lift up off your left shoulder blade. Stabilize in that right glute. Can you lift up just a little bit more here? Come back to center, put your foot down, inhale and lower. Awesome, bring your arms out like a cactus. We'll draw the knees in towards our spine, and we'll just drop the knees over to the right, and then take your gaze to the right, and see if you can straighten your left arm, and reach it as far as you can towards the left. And you'll feel your pec muscle, you'll feel your shoulder open here as you do so. Awesome. And then let's come back through center and then all the way over to the other side. So moving to the right, gaze comes to the left and then, or over to the left, and then reach to those right fingertips as much as you can and breathe. Deep breaths over here. Awesome, bring your knees back through center. And let's come all the way up and over to a tabletop. So shoulders stacked over your wrists. Knees slightly in front of your hips. And we're going to come back to that same move. But before you move here, I want you to take your gaze forward for a second and then tuck your chin so the back of your head is really long. Keep your belly lifted here and really feel your spine nice and long as we're here. So you're really feeling this engagement here in the shoulders, feeling the engagement here in the core, keeping your spine nice and tall. Now keep your gaze down at your hands or slightly forward, and I just want you to round through your upper back. So really feeling those shoulders push away from each other, feeling kind of this puff here in your chest. And then you'll come back to a neutral spine, but notice you don't want to kind of dip here or soften the chest. Keep the shoulders really active, core still engaged. And we'll do this a couple times. So round through the upper back, feeling those shoulders work, and then come back to neutral. And then round and neutral. We'll just a couple more times while we're here. Breathing. Really feeling those shoulder blades, feeling that scapula move on your back. Breathing in and breathing out. 2 more. Push and neutral. Push and neutral. Last one. Push Come back to neutral. Lower down to your forearms here. You can interlace your hands or keep your hands open. We'll tuck our toes and we'll lift into a dolphin pose. So walk your toes forward just a little bit more. And I know that this can be a sticky pose for a lot of people. So I want you to bend your knees a little bit more than you would and lift your heels and then push into your hands and you'll feel your shoulders engage, feel your spine engage as we're here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. 2 more big breaths as we're here. Feel your shoulders, feel your spine really tall. Try to take that rounding out of your spine and see if you can relax your head. Awesome. Re-lower to your knees. We'll walk up back to our hands. And then let's press back to our first down dog. So lift your hips up and take a little bit of a bend left and right. Yeah, just warming and waking up those hamstrings, shaking your head no, nodding your head yes, finding whatever movement feels really good right here, right now for you. All right, we're going to go right into our sequence. So settle back into your down dog and step your left toes forward. We'll lower to our right knee, untuck your toes, and we'll come up for a low lunge here. So we want to be right on top of that knee. Hand comes to the belly, hand comes to your glute, and really firm between here for a second. And then see if you can really lengthen through your spine as we're here. We're going to take our arms to our shoulders, and we're just going to start to roll the shoulders one at a time, moving them backwards. And I want you to notice where your gaze is. So are you gazing kind of down? Can you take your gaze straight forward? And then really stabilize in your glutes. So squeezing your glutes together here as we move. We're just really to find some stability here as we're finding more mobility here in the shoulders. Big breath in. Big breath out. Awesome. 2 more big rolls. Awesome. Last one. And then come back to center. You're going to tuck your right toes under. We're going to turn to the right and then lunge into your right leg. See if you can bring your hands all the way down. If you want, you can keep your hands at your hips here and just breathe. Think about pushing your butt back. And then again, notice, are you starting to round here? Can you draw your shoulder blades back just a little bit more, keeping that spine tall? Really lunging into that right leg, straining into that right thigh, into that right hip. Your hands on the ground, when you're at the fingertips, or hands all the way down. Keep that spine tall as we move here, though. Big breath in. Big breath out. 1 more inhale. Exhale, we're going to walk back to the front of the mat. I want you to slide your left toes back just a little bit here, and then come either to your fingertips or to your hands. We're going to lift for a standing split. So again, spine stays tall. So if you have to be up here on your fingertips, or if you need to grab a coffee table or anything like that, I want you to think about drawing your shoulder blades back, and then almost like pulling your chest through like you would in a cobra pose. Breathing in and breathing out. And then your right hip is turned down, so your pelvis is neutral. There's a slight bend into this left knee. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. We're going to take a big step back. We're going to open to the side. God is close. We're still facing to the right. You're going to sink your hips nice and low. Bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your low back, and then take it from this kind of curved spine. Can you make it nice and flat here? So core is super engaged. Spine is really tall, even as we sink here and breathe. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. Can you sink just a smidge lower? 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to bring our hands all the way back down to the ground again. You're going to re-lower to your right knee. Bring your right hand all the way down to the ground. Click your shoulder into place, and then bring your left hand to your hip. Step your left foot back behind you. You can turn this right foot if you want for a little bit of kickstand. We'll take the right arm up, really squeeze your glutes, and we'll start to circle the arm. Yeah. And your left arm should already feel a little bit less crunchy than it did before. So getting into this big movement pattern here as we move. Breathing in and breathing out. Awesome. 2 more big rolls as we're here. Last one. Bring your hands straight up towards the sky, and then think about reaching through those fingertips. Bring the left hand down to the ground. Let's step back to a plank pose. So step your right foot back, and then notice, are you rounding in your spine? Are you sinking in? See if you can keep your spine really tall. Shoulders right over the wrists. Lower your knees. Don't shift forward. Lower to the ground. Cobra, draw your hands back. Think about drawing the shoulder blades down your back. Back of the neck is really long, so not straining in that neck. Lower down, and then press back, downward facing back. Slide your toes in just a little bit here, and I want you to feel a lift here in your shoulders. We'll do some shoulder shrugs. So bend your knees a little bit more, and think about pushing your butt up towards the sky, and then keep the bend into those knees. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears, and then draw them back down. Shrug, and draw them back down. 3 more. Shrug, and draw them down. Awesome. Shrug, and draw them down. 3 more. You got it. Shrug, and draw them down. Last one. Shrug, draw them down so they're right into that spot here. Feel how much more power you have in your hands and your shoulders, how long your spine is. Step your right foot forward, lower to your left knee, untuck your toes as you come up again. Yeah, one hand to the belly, one hand to the glutes again. Really think about firming between, and then notice where your shoulders are. Can you take them down your back here? Just to breathe for a second. Bring your hands back to your shoulders, and then start to circle them. Yeah, give me some nice big movements here. Into the shoulders, into the body. It should feel a little bit smoother than our first one. Take your gaze straight forward, and then really activate your glutes here as we breathe into the lower body and move the upper body. Awesome. Hopefully everyone's already feeling pretty good. I preheated my room a little bit, so I'm already a little sweaty. I don't know about you. 2 more big rolls. All right, bring your hands to the inside of your left leg. We're going to turn to the left, tuck those left toes under, and then come to your side lunge here again. So we're lunging into that left knee, pushing our hip back, keeping our spine tall. Again, hands can be up here. They can be up to your fingertips or all the way down. But lean back and you'll feel your glute, you'll feel your outer hip here as we're here. Spine stays tall. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Turn back to the front. Slide your right foot back just a little bit more. Load your right leg and then lift. Yeah, can you turn all 5 toes so they point down to the ground? So both hips are in neutral here. Your pelvis in neutral, and then you're pulling your chest through. Yeah. So try not to round here by keeping that leg straight. If you need to bend into your right leg a little bit more, it's going to be a little bit more work here in your glute, but it's going to feel so good. Big breath in. Big breath out. Yeah, one more. Big step to the side. Open up goddess pose again and sink your hips. So 1 hand to the belly, 1 hand to the glutes. And this time, if you want, you can start to pulse down as you breathe. Really think about opening up those knees nice and wide here as you keep the spine tall, keep the chin back as we breathe. Big breath in, big breath out. 2 more, inhale, and exhale. Last one, inhale. Exhale, we'll windmill back to the front. Bring your left hand down, left knee down. You're walking that knee forward. Right hand to your hip. Draw your left shoulder back and then step it back. Push your toes into the ground and then start to circle that right arm. Yeah. Breathing here. Nice big movement patterns here as we move our body. Start to warm and wake up for today. Awesome. 2 more. Last one. Both hands down. Click your shoulders into place again. Lift into your belly and then step back to your plank pose. Feel how much stronger your arms are here. Lower your knees. Lower your chest. Cobra. Draw your shoulder blades down and back. Exhale. Lift into down dog. Slide the toes in just a little bit here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. All right, let's add on a little bit more here. Slide your right toes to the center of your mat. Keep the bend into your right leg. Lift your left leg up. And you're going to bend your knee here. And you're just going to externally and internally rotate that hip one more time. Yeah, so it's a small movement. Your pelvic points, your ilium, stay pointed down as you just isolate that hip movement. And it should feel a little bit smoother. Awesome. 3, 2. Last one. Step your left foot forward. We'll come up warrior 2 this time. Yeah, and I want you to bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your glutes again, and then push your pubic bone forward so your glute muscles are squeezing together even as we're here. Arms come out like a T, and then front knee tracks with that second toe as we're here. Flip your top hand up, inhale, reverse, take your gaze down. Exhale, side angle, take your gaze down. And a little bit more movement here, reverse, and side angle. Awesome, reverse, and side angle. One more, reverse. We'll come to our side angle and hold, and we'll backstroke that right arm one more time, just 3 times this time. Should feel really open, really loose. All right, one more. Bring your right hand to the ground. This time we'll take a big twist to the left. So pivot to your right toes, and then reach your left arm either up or keep it at your hip. Draw your right shoulder blade back as we're here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Maybe you can drop your ear towards your shoulder. Just give yourself a little bit of neck relief. You'll bend your right knee, bring it all the way in here. We'll lower to the right shin and then pivot to the side. So we're in a seated twist here. Right leg is down, left leg is up, and we're going to roll both shoulders again. A little bit more free form. Try to isolate each one versus doing both at the same time. Breathe, big breath in. Big breath out. Awesome, big breath in. Big breath out. 3 more big rolls back each side. Awesome, let's pick up a little bit more movement here. We'll turn to the right, bring your hands to the right. We'll pick up our heels and then walk to the right again, and we'll find some side lunges here. Yeah, and then keep that spine tall. You can move quickly or slowly. Again, hands can be all the way down, but notice where are you starting to round and hinge at your waist? And then breathe, keep that spine tall. Maybe that means you move your hands up just a little bit more. Awesome. We're here for 3. Should feel really good on those hips. It should feel nice and loose. 2. 1, we'll turn back to the left. This time we'll step right back to our down dog. And we'll bend our knees and then push your butt back to the right. Come back to your down dog and then bend your knees, push your butt to the left. Yeah, so just moving the hips from side to side. Yeah, it should feel nice in the ribs and in the spine, finding a little bit more freedom here. 2 more. Last one. All right, come forward. We'll re-lower to a tabletop. So again, shoulders over the wrist, and let's cat and cow. Feel your spine. Nice and long here. Awesome. 2 more. Last one. All right, come to a little bit of a cat here. Tuck your toes under and then lift back into your down dog. Yeah, and then maybe just swing from side to side for a second. And you'll notice how you feel a little bit different from the right and the left side. Or a little bit different from how we started class. So slide your left toes into the center of the mat, pick up your right leg. You'll bend your knee, and then you'll open and close that hip. So external and internal rotation here. Breathing, nice deep breaths. Awesome. We're here for 3, 2, last one, open and close. Bring the hip back to neutral. Step it forward, warrior 2. One hand to the low back, one hand to the belly, and then push your pivot bone forward, squeezing those glutes together. Then arms come out and find a little bit of a dance here. Yeah, just finding some movement. Nice deep breaths. Awesome job. 3 more. 2. Last one, side angle and hold. Top hand to the ground, pivot to the side and take a big twist. Yeah, drop your ear and breathe. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Make sure that left shoulder is on. Shouldn't kind of be round and you're delving into it. Should be clicked into place here, nice and active. Hand comes to your hip, lower to your left knee. We'll turn to the right, seated twist. Yeah, and then roll your shoulders. How's everybody feeling? Good. Awesome. A little bit more movement here, and then we'll get into all those burning questions. Awesome. 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands back over to the left. We'll unline all the way into our left leg side lunges again. If you want to make this a little bit bigger, you can even start to take some hops depending on how your energy feels. So you can kind of hop to the side and lunge, and then hop back. This is all about how you feel here. You can always stay here in this regular lunge. Just starting to work out, maybe taking some bigger movement patterns. Awesome. We're here for 5. Maybe you can make your jumps a little bit bigger if you're jumping. 4, 3, 2, 1. Turn back to the front, hands plant down, downward facing dog. Swivel your hips from side to side. Yeah. Should feel really nice now. 3, 2, 1. Come back to a tabletop, cat and cow. See if you can deepen your breath. See if you can find more space in your cat pose here, really rounding through that back. Yeah, a couple more just like this. All right, then let's do the child's pose. So big toe stretch, hips open a little bit further here, and then slide your hips back as you walk your arms forward and breathe. Deep breath in, deep breath out. See if you can sink into your mat. See if you can walk your fingertips forward even further here as we breathe. Nice deep breaths. Walk your fingertips over to the right side of your mat. Extend your left arm really long here, and then push your left hip back just ever so slightly here, and you'll feel your left ribs, your left body open as we're here. Awesome, then walk the fingertips back through center and all the way over to the left. Extend your right arm long as you're here and push that right hip back. Feel this nice big stretch. Come back to center and let's walk ourselves up to a seat here. And we'll take our legs out in front of us. So we're going to find a 90-90 So you're going to start with your right leg forward and your left leg kind of open here, and your feet aren't touching your thigh. But you want kind of a 90-degree angle coming out of your hip, and then your knee to be at 90 degrees. And then same with that left leg. If this is too uncomfortable, you can take this towel that you have, or you have a pillow, that sweatshirt, anything that you have, you can kind of fold it up really tight here. I like to roll it up, and you can put it just a little bit underneath your left glute to give yourself a little bit of support. But if that feels okay, you're going to stay just like this. We're going to bring our arms up like a cactus, and we're just going to turn from side to side here. A little bit of kind of opening here in our chest, as well as you can feel it in your left hip as you turn. Yeah. Awesome. 3, try not to round. 2, 1, we'll come over to the right, and I want you to face your right leg. You can bring one hand to the outside of your knee, one hand to the outside of your foot, and then start to just lean forward while we're here and breathe. If this is too uncomfortable, you can always stay in an upright position. If you feel really good in your hips, you can even lower down to your forearms while we're here. And then maybe you're feeling really good, you can always lower down to your head. But it all depends on how you feel. It's always okay to stay in this upright position as well. Nice deep breaths. All right, let's come all the way up and we'll switch sides. So left leg will come to the front, right leg will come behind, and then make sure you're setting yourself up right here. So 90, 90. Yeah, and then arms out like a cactus again, and we'll just kind of turn from side to side. If you need to put something underneath that right hip because it's maybe a little bit tighter, it still feels tight, you can always do so. Yeah. Awesome. 3, 2, 1. Come back towards the left, hands to the outside of the foot, outside of the knee, and then lean forward as we do so. Yeah. See if you can make your feet active, just a little bit more here. Yeah, it's almost like flexing at the ankle, flexing at the toes. Maybe you want to walk a little bit further down, maybe even all the way down. Either way, it's okay. You might notice that one hip is a little bit easier than the other. Deep breaths. All right, then slowly walk yourself back up. And then let's bring both legs out in front of us. Grab your towel, because we're going to use a little bit more here on our back, and I want you to lay all the way down. Let's start with just a quick neck stretch here. So you're going to take that towel behind your head, and you want to think hairline and just a little bit up here, like if you were to wear a ponytail, be between your hairline and your ponytail. And then I want you to just lift your hands up. So don't let your core work here, but take your hands forward. And then just let your head relax here, and you'll feel this nice big stretch again in your cervical flexor, so the back part of your head. If you don't have a towel, you can always interlace your hands back behind you. But see if you can just let the weight of the head hang here, and you'll feel this nice big stretch. All right, then we'll lower our head back down. You can move that towel out of the way slightly. And we'll open up our feet really wide here, so almost as wide as your mat, or wider than your hips. You'll take your arms up above here, and we're going to drop the knees over to the right. And you're going to grab with your right hand, grab for your left wrist, and then reach your left wrist even further. Flex your toes, and then push your left knee forward here. And you'll feel this really long side body stretch here on that left side. If you have any knee pain, you can walk that left knee in closer, or left foot in closer towards the right here as we breathe. All right, then come through center, and we'll come all the way over to the left this time, and then push that right knee forward as you grab for that right wrist, and then reach the fingertips forward as you press the knee. So it's kind of like you're rolling your hip just a smidge and then squeezing your glute. All right, then we'll come back through center, and we'll walk the knees in just a smidge here, and I want you to knock your knees together. So feet are open, knees are together. You can bring your hands to your belly here for a second, and then just pick up your shoulders and draw them back just a little bit more here. And you'll feel the natural curve of your spine as we're here. So we're not pushing the ribs down. I mean, you can if you want and feel your core, but you'll feel this natural curve here. You'll feel your tailbone heavy and then your shoulders heavy here as we breathe. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. We're just taking a quick pause in this pose before we move into our shavasana to give ourselves a little bit more rest. So what we're doing is we're in optimal posture here, so really feeling how the body feels and just allowing your body to kind of absorb this position. And then when you're ready, you can extend your legs. And then keep your elbows kind of where they are, but you can just open your hands if that feels good. And then get rid of any of those wiggles or fidgets. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big open mouth exhale. See if you can let go of your movements. See if you can let go of your breath. And allow your whole body to relax right here, right now. Letting all your hard work be absorbed into your body as you breathe. Start to deepen your breath. Start to wiggle your fingertips and your toes, your head and your neck. Take your legs nice and long, your arms up above, and take a nice big full body stretch. Full body breath. Let's do one more just like this. Inhale, reach. And exhale, release. Bend your knees. You can draw them into your chest if you want, but we'll roll over to a side, whatever that looks like for you. And let's slowly press ourselves up to a seat, spine nice and tall. See if you can sit up a little bit taller than you did before, hands at your heart. And we'll take one more big breath together. Inhale. And a big open mouth. Awesome. All right, let's get some questions answered.